goodly vessel, Caroline. Impressive.
I'm told you can tell a captain by his ship.
In that case, maybe Captain Onedin is the man we need for our enterprise.
I'm sure he is, Henry.
A charter to Brazil, you say, please?
To the Amazon, to be precise.
Well, we know the Amazon, do we not, Mrs. Maudsley? Have some rather bitter memories of the place, please.
Carry our cargo for the return voyage only, but we should pay you for the round trip.
Oh, and what is the cargo?
Black gold.
Beg your pardon?
Rubber.
I see.
Mr. Wickham is in the employ of Dr. Hooker at the Royal Botanical Gardens at Kew. Dr. Hooker dared the Andes to procure the wild cinchona tree, so that quinine should be available to the world. He is also famous for bringing in the giant azaleas and rhododendrons of the Himalayas.
And now you aim to transplant the rubber tree. Where? India?
I may as well admit it. We foresee that before the turn of the century, every industry, every machine, every steamship will have need of rubber.
As important as that?
Yes. But due to the excessive commercial activity and the unscientific tapping of the rubber tree in the Amazon, it faces extinction. Already there are vast areas where the only rubber tree is a cayman, a worn-out tree.
Totally useless.
Yes. Now, we believe that we can, and indeed we must, develop rubber plantations in India, which will yield a regular harvest. Indefinitely, like the grapevine.
Well, there's only just one snag. The Brazilian government guard their black gold, as you call it, very zealously. They've put an embargo on the exporting of all rubber seeds from Brazil.
We could, gather the seeds ourselves.
Yeah, well, I'm a ship owner, not a seed picker.
You may refrain from actually picking the seeds, Captain Onedin. However, you and your vessel could be indispensable to smuggle them out.
Yes, and how do I deal with the Brazilian government, eh?
I know a number of people in the region.
You shall be paid for every seed.
Oh, how much?
£15 per 1,000. What with the price of the charter, Captain Onedin, you'd be well in profit.
Yes, well, I am well in profit. My ships are fully laden. I've neither the necessity nor the disposition for such a venture.
You would be rendering your country an invaluable service.
Well, that argument appeals to those who seek glory in patriotic thieving.
Am I to take it your refusal is final, Mr. Onedin?
I'm afraid it is, Mr. Wickham.
There, little Charlotte. There's our good little girl. Look at this. You're going to have a lovely birthday, then, eh?
James is here.
Yes. Oh, good afternoon, James.
What? For saving me yet again? Here we are.
We're bound for the Caribbean, Fogarty.
Aye, but something else has come up.
Profitable, I hope.
Aye.
Caroline, Elizabeth, if we don't hurry up, the scones will be ruined. Robert, do you want to fetch in the cake?
Oh, come on. Come on, up you come. There we are now.
James, if you would deign to spoil your daughter a little bit.
You know, she's getting to look more and more like you.
That'll stand her in good stead, won't it?
You're not stranded for a cargo, are you, Captain Fogarty?
No, just a change of plans.
It's ready.
Oh, come along, Captain Baines. I expect you to enthrall us with tales of your adventures.
Me, Mum.
Here we are. We're all ready. And little Charlotte's going to blow out the birthday candles.
Yes, you will.
Here we are, darling.
Birthday?
Charlotte's birthday, James.
What's the idea?
James, Annie's dead. It's the living who need your affection now.
Elizabeth's right, James. If you persist in going on like that, poor little Charlotte will never be entitled to celebrate her birthday. Well, I never. Sometimes I think I hate that poor child.
No, he don't, ma'am. It's just a day's...
Oh, he begrudges the poor little mite her life.
That's a terrible thing to say, Sarah.
Well, it's the truth. Oh, after all the trouble I've been to,
Perhaps
he
you
might at least have had the decency to sit down and eat with us.
Perhaps you shouldn't have gone to all that trouble, Sarah. Perhaps you should have left well alone.
Listen, Elizabeth Fraser.
Sarah, Elizabeth.
Excuse me, ma'am. I think I go out and see Mr. Onedin.
It's Charlotte's birthday. Let's not spoil it. Miss Biddulph, will you help Charlotte blow out the candles?
Come on. Let's blow the candles out, eh? Come
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
This is what I was looking for. I should think a tropical umbrella is a must for the Amazon.
This is lovely.
Albert brought it back on one of his trips to America.
You do miss him, don't you?
No, I don't. Well, just at times like that birthday party today. Still, it served your purpose.
It served my purpose?
Well, what else do you think made James change his mind?
Oh, you mean about going to the Amazon after all?
James has never been one to involve himself in family matters, particularly our family. He should marry again to escape us. But she'll have to be someone special. Someone who'll comfort him, who won't cry on his shoulder, someone who knows her own mind, like...
Like his late wife.
I should be most interested to know what happens on your trip to the Amazon.
Nothing will happen.
Particularly as Mr. Wickham has had to cry off.
Meaning?
There's something very romantic about tete-a-tete dinners after 6 bells on a long voyage.
You're talking from experience, I take it.
Imagination.
You seem to forget one thing. Should James wish to marry, there is a bride most willing.
Leonora's a nice girl.
Campaigns, you think we'll catch the tide at this rate?
Aye, sir. It's good to have a woman aboard again, ma'am.
If you must know, I don't give ourselves a very good chance.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Mr. Wickham and I have somewhat modified our plan of attack.
Oh, have you?
Yes. I am to approach one of the robber barons as a representative of Dr. Hooker and ask him in all innocence to provide us with exotic botanical specimens. One Manuel Ortega.
Will he oblige?
Yes, certainly. In the case of the botanical specimens.
I thought we were after rubber seeds, though.
Well, he won't provide those, of course. But my hope is that while he is preoccupied with my requirements, you will be able to collect them.
I've already told you. I'm not a seed picker.
Well, I don't mean you personally. Captain Baines.
Oh, Captain Baines. I doubt very much whether he'll oblige.
I've already talked to him. He's most willing.
And, what else have you arranged on our behalf?
I have smuggled aboard a most delicate wine. In gratitude for your gallantry.
Gallantry?
Was it not gallantry that finally decided you to accompany me?
I was offered a general cargo at very favourable rates by your friend, Mr. Wickham.
Oh, dear. Does that mean you're going to abandon me at Para?
Don't tempt me.
You know, we women do have our uses.
Do you know your place?
What is our place?
Out of a man's way.
Now, that wasn't the case with your late wife, was it?
Anne was different.
William should be back soon.
I would like to see him before I leave.
When is that?
Next time. Always last-minute things to do.
Is that what saying goodbye to your son is? A last-minute thing to do?
Certainly is not.
Yesterday was Sunday. You could have spent the whole day with him.
Well, I had to be on hand for the loading.
Of course. Will you be seeing James at Para?
I doubt it. Why?
I have a letter from Mrs. Maudsley.
I can see she gets it.
I've never known you be so mysterious about a voyage, Daniel.
Mysterious. Trifle guilty, maybe. Master of a steamship, after all I've said about him.
Well, you've commanded one before. At least you're moving with the times. How's Emma?
Same. How's Albert?
The same. Do wait for William. That could be. Miss Biddle.
Good morning, Mrs. Fraser. I wonder, could I trouble you for the key to James's house? I thought I'd dust the upstairs rooms. Oh, dear, I see I've come at an inconvenient time. Captain Fogarty?
Miss Biddulph?
Captain Fogarty just came to collect a letter from Mrs. Maudsley.
Yes, I must be leaving, Mrs. Fraser.
No, I can come back later.
Oh, no need, Miss Biddulph. Here's the key. Do you have a carriage outside, Captain Fogarty?
No.
Pity. You could have dropped Miss Biddulph off at my brother's house.
No, don't worry. I like walking.
Well, then, good day to you, Miss Biddulph. And good day to you, Captain Fogarty. Thank you for your trouble.
No trouble, Mrs. Fraser.
Well, we're over the first hurdle. Manuel Ortega cordially invites us to Santarem.
Santarem? But that's upriver.
Oh, it's only about 400 kilometers. Well, there are plenty of riverboats for charter.
Santarem would suit us well, ma'am.
Oh. And so you know all about rubber seeds, do you, Captain Baines?
I have some friends in Santarem, sir.
Friends.
Indian.
Oh, but that's splendid. They can help you collect the seeds.
Aye, ma'am, that's what I thought. I was shipwrecked one time off Trinidad. And the ship that picked us up dropped me at Para. I had no money, and I couldn't sign on another ship immediately, so I worked on the river steamers. And on one of the trips, I saved the life of the chief. And they sort of adopted me, you know, made me a blood brother, like.
Ah, saved him from the robber barons, did you?
Ma'am, well, you know how it is. I mean, life is cheap out here. And theirs is the cheapest of the lot. Each pound of rubber tapped out here costs the life of at least one Indian. Excuse me, I better see about chartering the river steamers.
Oh, and there's little Charlotte.
Oh, isn't she lovely? James must miss her very much.
He can do no wrong in your eyes, can he? He's not the only man in the world, you know.
No, but he's the only one I want.
I see.
You don't mind. I mean, you're not against me.
Oh, no, I'm all for it. The sooner you do, the sooner Robert and I can get on living our own lives again.
If only I could make him notice me.
Well, they say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. But I very much doubt if it's the way to James and Eden's heart.
No, I found that much out already. I mean, I've cooked his suppers, I've cleaned his house, and then he sails off to Brazil with her.
Oh, he's not interested in Mrs. Maudsley.
I wish I could be sure of that. She has such an air of confidence. Mrs. Fraser has it, too. When I went to pick up the key to James's house last week, Captain Fogarty was there.
Oh, I forgot. I have to make out an order for some soap.
He'd come to pick up a letter, but by the way he looked at her...
Captain Fogarty is a very old friend of the family.
Oh, I didn't wish to imply anything improper. It was just that it made me think that Captain Onedin never looks at me like that.
Yes, I know.
How's Mr. Robert?
Working hard.
On his campaign?
Aye, and it's a busy time in this shop.
My father says he has a great political future.
Well, yes. Robert could be as important as Samuel Plimsoll. If he'd campaign more, that is.
Well, then you must see that he does.
It means traveling.
Well, then he must travel. And you with him.
And who'd look after Charlotte and the shop?
Well, as for the shop, you'd have to find somebody, but I'd willingly look after Charlotte.
You would?
I'd try.
I think we should have started upriver by now, sir.
Well, first we must pay our respects to this Ortega gentleman.
I'm ready. Captain Baines, shouldn't you have dressed for the occasion?
He's not coming.
But Captain Baines, it's only a private dinner party.
Aye, ma'am, but we thought Mr. Ortega shouldn't know about me.
Oh, yes, I understand.
Perhaps you could show me where we're likely to find the plantation, ma'am?
Oh, yes. Here. Down the Tapajos River. This is where we must aim for.
Tapajos River it isn't.
Now, you must remember we have a very narrow margin for delay. Oh, those rubber trees should already have reached ripeness. But you must wait until the pods burst.
Burst?
Oh, yes. And they sometimes shoot some 50 yards or so I fear it'll be a back-breaking job.
Aye, ma'am.
Well, if that's all, I suggest we don't keep this Manuel Ortega waiting.
Of course. Shall we go?
Dear Dr. Hooker, he has sent me the prettiest flower in the world, and all he asks in return is a few botanical specimens.
You're most flattering, Manuel.
But it is not true, Mr. Onedin,
What?
that I have the best of the bargain. Is not Mrs. Maudsley the most beautiful of them all?
Really?
Yes, indeed. Most handsome.
Handsome. Trust the English to use a masculine adjective to describe feminine beauty.
Getting late. Well, thank you for your hospitality, Mr. Ortega. I think we must be going.
Please, Mr. Onedin, you cannot deprive me of Caroline's company so soon.
Well, we wish to make an early start in the morning. You know, got rather a lot of work to do.
Oh, work, it can wait. We have so much to talk about, my dear. Old times and the present.
It's not that late, surely.
But should you wish to go, Mr. Onedin, please don't feel obliged to stay.
Mrs. Maudsley?
She's not leaving yet, she said so.
Let me stay for a minute if you don't mind.
Of course not. Happy reminiscences, eh? Ah.
We've made good time, Captain.
Either fast these steamships, with the soot in your hair.
We may need to make faster time going back. Tomorrow we trek upriver.
Trek.
We must not be observed.
The jungle. I, for one, will be a fish out of water.
The jungle is my element, but it can be as dangerous as the sea.
You alone with Ortega in the middle of the jungle.
I shall be safe.
Look, surely you can't be blind to his interest in you.
He has always been interested in me, even when my husband was alive.
Ah, you encourage him.
There are some men you don't have to encourage. I would like to remind you I'm here for one purpose, to distract him whilst you collect the seeds. That is what I am doing.
Well, I'll not leave you alone with him.
You forget. His word is law here.
What does he want?
He's come to fetch me. Manuel Ortega is giving a ball in my honor. I shall tell him you have decided not to accompany us on our excursions.
Now, you see that rubber capsule up there? Watch it. Any minute now, it will explode. The ingenious ways of nature, eh, what, Captain?
I'll do them, sir.
Must do something around. Tomorrow I'm coming with you.
What will Mrs. Maudsley say, sir?
Oh, damn Mrs. Maudsley. Where are they?
Or if Ortega gets to know about it, sir.
Well, damn Ortega, then.
How much do you know about me, Caroline?
What an odd question.
It has a purpose.
Well, let me see. You are one of the richest men in South America, whose domains cover half of the Amazon.
And I am cruel and heartless. Do you think I am?
Well, I have had no proof of it, but I have heard it mentioned. Are you?
You want me to be frank?
Of course.
Yes, I am. Or rather, I have been.
I see.
But there is another me.
Oh.
As there is inside every tyrant, one who yearns to be tender, devoted, one who wants to love. Do you believe me?
Why shouldn't I?
It's important that you do because, you see, this other me, he needs just a little encouragement to blossom. For instance, if you decided to stay here permanently...
Oh, Manuel, really?
Oh, no, please, I wouldn't joke about it.
Manuel, how long have we known each other?
If you asked me how long I have loved you, I would say without exaggeration, from the 3rd hour of our first meeting in Lima.
How very precise.
I tell you this because I don't want you to think of me simply as a lonely man stranded here at the frontiers of humanity who could not help falling in love with the first beautiful woman he saw. No. I have loved you for a very long time.
I don't know what to say.
You could say that you have known this to be true.
Known it?
Well, at least that you suspected it.
But I didn't.
Oh, I think you did. Otherwise, you would not have called on me. You have many other acquaintances in this region.
Manuel, I came to you as an old friend.
Old friends are notorious for proving unhelpful. No, no. You came to me because you knew I would help you. Do anything for you. Because you know, I would risk a great deal to please you.
Risk, Manuel?
I would risk all for you. So please think about it.
We should have enough by now. I'd have liked more, but we've been too long already. The jungle's not our only enemy. The sooner we get back to the ship, the less chance of discovery.
Mr. Onedin, sir, I've seen symptoms like this before. My guess is this lad's suffering from malaria.
This is mostly an airbrain schemes.
Come on. Let's see.
I'm going to go and see if I can find some cinchona to make some quinine.
Malaria?
It appears so.
Should leave me.
The dear chap, we couldn't do that. You'll be all right in a couple of days when you pass the crisis.
The seeds, they'll perish.
Don't you worry about the seeds. You just try and sleep.
Well, apart from the Hevea Brasiliensis, that, I think, is all that the Amazon has to offer.
What is the Hevea Brasiliensis?
The best rubber tree.
Well, we have rubber seeds.
Caimans. They are useless to Dr. Hooker.
Useless?
He will never break the Amazon's monopoly with those.
What monopoly?
The rubber monopoly, of course. Seeds grow into plantations, my dear. Oh. You came here fully aware of my weakness for you and to take advantage of it. I should be angry, but, well, all roads lead to Rome. You are here by my side. And as I said before, I am willing to risk everything for you.
Manuel, I have been thinking about your proposition.
Now, please, let me finish. I want you to consider further factors before you decide. I know what Captain Onedin and Captain Baines have been doing.
Oh?
I should think by now they have enough seeds to start a few plantations. Now, I am willing to let them go if you decide to stay here.
And if I don't?
Then I shall confiscate the seeds and see that Captain Onedin and Captain Baines are suitably punished.
I see.
I very much hope that you do, my dear. Consider all that I have to offer. A chance to render your country a great service, as well as to ensure the welfares of Captain Onedin and Captain Baines. Then there is, of course, my wealth, with which you can indulge your slightest whims.
What if I already hold an affection for someone else?
Captain Onedin?
I posed a theoretical question.
That would give me a very strong weapon. One which would ensure your sacrifice.
Oh, you do admit it would be a sacrifice.
Perhaps not as great as mine, since I'm endangering my country's prosperity, but a sacrifice all the same. You may discover that I don't exactly lack Captain Onedin's qualities.
You're being most persuasive, Manuel.
I very much hope that I am. Perhaps this time you should think it over very carefully.
Yes. I think I should.
I couldn't find any cinchona. This is Remigio. Same family.
To marry Ortega?
He knows about our deception.
Oh, damn the deception. Do you really want to marry him?
If it means your safety.
Oh, come. You're hardly the sacrificial lamb.
Well, it's not a fate worse than death. In fact, it's quite tempting.
Are you serious?
Why, Mr. Onedin, you seem almost concerned.
Do you really want to marry him?
Do you need me to answer?
Hurry up and pack.
Yes, Captain.
Try and get this down. The salts from the bark. It's a quinine of sorts. How effective?
changes, shall we, my angel? Get those dirty things off. Go on, here. Just... Oh, my goodness. Here, darling. No, I have to go. You wait here. No, it's all right, Angel. Just 1 minute.
Caroline? Caroline!
Mrs. Fraser! Mrs. Fraser! Oh, dear. Oh, Mrs. Fraser, I'm terribly sorry to disturb you, but there's something the matter with Charlotte.
Something the matter?
Yes, it's a rash.
Have you sent for the doctor?
No,
Well, where is she now?
She's in the house.
You mean you left her there alone?
Yes. Oh, dear. It's all right. It's just under there.
Where? It's all right. It's just a soreness. Have you got any powder?
Have I got any powder?
It's
Yes,
all-
yes.
It's all right.
Thank you very much for coming.
Feeling better? I think the worst is over.
I can help you now.
Oh, no, you can't. You just rest and get your strength up so that we can get you back to the ship.
I've delayed you long enough already.
Dear chap, it's been a blessing in disguise. Got 90,000 seeds while we waited for you.
We've done it then.
But ask me that again when we're clear of Brazilian waters.
You don't like me very much, do you?
You make a good cup of tea?
You know I want to marry your brother, and your allegiance is with Mrs. Maudsley.
Allegiance? You make it sound like a war.
Isn't it?
Well, if so, the spoils are most meager.
I thought you'd understand. You of all people.
What do you mean by that? Have you been listening to gossip?
No.
If you think Daniel Fogarty and I really don't see why I should explain myself to you.
I intend to marry your brother.
That's your affair. But to use an innocent child...
I'm not using her. I'm looking after her.
And not very well.
Well, at least I'd give her the affection she needs if I were given the chance.
You're not right for James, you know. I'll tell you that now.
How do you know? How can anybody know till it's put to the test?
My concern is not for my brother. He can take care of himself. But you have my sympathy.
I don't need it, I assure you.
You will do. If you ever succeed in marrying him, James will make your life a Calvary.
I'm not made of butter, Mrs. Fraser.
I can see that.
You are no doubt asking yourselves how I managed to get to Para ahead of you.
How did you?
There is a quicker way via the tributaries. The ancients did not exaggerate when they called the Amazon the inland sea.
You're trespassing.
Trespassing?
You need permission to come aboard my ship.
Your ship is under custody, Captain Onedin. Lieutenant Mendez is here to inspect your cargo. If he should find one rubber seed, he has orders to destroy your cargo and impound your ship.
We have full customs clearance.
Did he ask about the seeds?
Well, the few I showed him.
And?
Botanical specimens for Kew Gardens.
And quite right, too.
Consider yourself under arrest, Captain Onedin.
On what charge?
While smuggling rubber seeds, of course.
But our cargo was botanical specimens and cayman seeds, all provided by you.
Which makes you an accessory to the crime.
Oh, I take it you assume there will be a trial.
I shall make damn sure that there is a trial.
You don't seem to realize I can have you executed simply by giving an order.
And what about me, Manuel?
You shall be deported, my dear.
We're under the protection of Her Majesty's government.
Gunboats.
In case of just this trouble, Mrs. Maudsley deposited a sealed letter with Mr. Shipton Green. He's the British consul.
Accusing me of ruthless tyranny and so forth. Huh?
Facts, even statements from your Indians, all attested.
But it wasn't necessary, was it? I mean, you are going to be gentle enough to take the seeds and let us go. Are you not, my dear? A toast, gentlemen.
Grant you this, you're a good loser.
Ah, but we haven't lost.
Only the seeds.
The seeds are on their way to Liverpool.
On their way to Liverpool?
What are you talking about?
Mr. Wickham and Captain Fogarty have 100,000 seeds aboard the Amazonas.
Fogarty.
Excuse me, ma'am. I don't understand.
Forgive me. But Captain Fogarty was approached for this task when you told us to find another master. When later you reversed your decision, Mr. Wickham decided that perhaps two masters might have a better chance of success. I'm glad to say he was proven right.
So we was just a decoy?
Well, if you'd known about Captain Fogarty, you might not have agreed to help. Shall we call a truce?
Fogarty. What did he get out of it?
Pride in having served his country.
You can't eat that.
Well, then, am I forgiven?
You employ my time, my crew, my ship, on a fool's errand. Now I'm to smile and say you're forgiven. Don't like being used, Mrs. Maudsley. No man does.